It is Tequila Tuesday here on the morning tea, you guys. I got my tequila shot that I mixed with a little bit of lemonade that my mom gave me. Thanks, Mom. And I've got the lime wedge here, but we're pulling that out later, okay? Because first we got to get into all the celebrity news that's been going on. But subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, share it with your friends. Let's grow the tree. I always do that. Tree tribe.
Not the tree tribe, girl. It's the tree tribe. We be sipping and spilling, girl.
Anyway, you guys, I'm Devyn Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevynHoward.
And I am Kourtney Revolution. You can find me most places, including my YouTube channel @Kourtney Revolution. How are you today, Devyn?
You know, I'm pretty good. There's a lot going on, so I feel like the things that have been happening in the world right now, the state of the world, it's been weighing kind of heavily on me. I tend to be an empath. I'm a sensitive person, so I absorb a lot of things that are going on that are negative, and it can be kind of heavy. But I did distract myself for a little yesterday by unpacking some things. My sister came over and helped me, so my apartment is no longer looking like a tornado came through it. Now it looks like it just got, shaken up a little by an earthquake or something like that. How are you, Courtney?
A shock moment.
Exactly.
That's good. It's like a new beginning for you. You have like a new space, new energy, and now you can continue to thrive in your new, well, I'm calling it a force field because I feel like my house is like a force field, girl. It's like a fortress, girl, because I ain't leaving and I ain't coming out and nobody could come in. So I appreciate and I'm happy for you that you were able to make this move and it was kind of like a smoother transition. Like you said, especially with everything going on, I'm glad you were sort of able to just make that move, girl. Come on.
Thank you. And so how are you, Courtney? What's been going on in your world?
Girl, in my world, it's very dangerous and very violent and very interesting. So right now, as of today, because today is Tuesday, we have like the Blackout Tuesday hashtag going around for social media. And I think that it's very important to mention, Devyn, that I would love for everyone to participate in the Blackout Tuesday posting as long as they do not hashtag Black Lives Matter. And you and I were discussing before we went live, the reason why is because when you hashtag Black Lives Matter with the Blackout Tuesday hashtag, it sort of clogs up the feed and people can't really get the information that they're looking for. So for example, what if you were following a influencer that wasn't participating in the Black Lives Matter moment right now? What would you do? You would go and you would click the Black Lives Matter hashtag and sort of get the information so you could donate or raise awareness, what have you. But girl, Devyn, when you click the hashtag, it's all black squares. So if you would like to participate and show your awareness, absolutely, I encourage it. Just please, remember to continue to share information, raise awareness, and do not hashtag Black Lives Matter with your Blackout Tuesday post, please.
You can hashtag Blackout Tuesday, and you can hashtag pause the show, I think is the other one. I might have got that one. Yeah, so those are two hashtags that you can include. You can obviously caption it Black Lives Matter. Just don't hashtag it. And then I would also like to add, before we do the Mika dance, because Miss Mika has arrived, she is here, but I want to also just say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that for the rest of the week after today, after Blackout Tuesday, people are encouraged to use their platforms to amplify Black content creators, amplify Black voices on social media, so you can share the creators that you really like on your story. You can post about them. I think that that's a really great way to transition out of Blackout Tuesday starting tomorrow, but still keep the momentum going. So just keep that in mind if you feel so inclined. I think it's a great opportunity to shed some light and give some recognition to people who are really killing it right now and who deserve.
How about this, Devyn? I challenge the T tribe, right? So if you're watching this video right now, you support at least one Black life. How about you do me the favor of participating in Blackout Tuesday? If you love the morning tea, if we're part of your routine, if you love me when I kiki to the kiki, I would appreciate that, because it has been very heavy. And I'm tired of seeing my Black brothers, sisters, and people who don't identify being treated more than unfairly. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, you guys. So take that challenge from Courtney. Once we wrap up the morning tea, participate in Blackout Tuesday. Don't share anything that's outside, don't share anything on social media. You can share that black square. Don't hashtag Black Lives Matter. Let's get involved.
Yes,
let's show our support. Let's stand in solidarity. And now, really quickly, let's get to that Mika dance. So I'm going to count you in, Courtney. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya. Miss Mika, she on fleeka. Miss Mika, she loves the tea ya, and we see ya. Miss Mika, go Mika, go Mika, go Mika. Happy Tuesday to Mika. It's always good to meet ya here with the Tea Tribe. Hey Meeks.
Hi Mika, thank you so much for tuning in. I also want to call out Fessy. She said, so happy to be back to the Tea Tribe. My exams are finally over. I'm also here for what Courtney said. Please, voices need to be heard. Okay, thank you so much. So nice of you. Also want to give you guys a quick little rundown of what we're going to be getting into today. Courtney, we are talking about your girl Nicki Minaj. She posted support of the Black Lives Matter movement, and she called for action. Adele broke her social media silence to get involved in the support online for what's been going on. Cole Sprouse had an eventful day at the Santa Monica protests over the weekend, and he posted a very, I think it was a very well-written caption about his experience and what he hopes people take away from it. Olivia Jade got dragged for her Black Lives Matter support. And then this is kind of crazy for those of you who are Gleeks. Lea Michele apparently made being on the link for her coach. I take it you're a Gleek, or what was that?
Devyn, yes, girl, we not getting into it right now, but I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all need a distraction, we gonna get into that today, because Devyn, I'm gonna say this, 2 things. 1, I have auditioned for the Glee project, and Lord, what would have happened if Lea Michele would have mistreated my Black expletive on Glee? So, girl, when we get to that part of the show, girl, the Gleek might come out, might gotta go and get a slushie downstairs and throw it at the camera or something, girl. But that's quite the story that I certainly was following last night. Yes, I was. My Twitter was lit up, girl.
Weird is the information that we found out about her, and maybe it's just because I watched her on Scream Queens. I was not much of a Glee fan growing up. I don't know why. I was not that motivated, but I am not that surprised. I don't know. Maybe you guys might be surprised. So we'll get into that later.
If you watch Glee, Devyn, you'll see it. Believe me. Anyone that has watched Glee will believe what we're about to get into later on in the show. I promise you that. The Rachel Berry is more real than we suspected, y'all.
Well, so that's the thing. I mean, the fact that I haven't even really been invested in the show or a huge fan of it, and the fact that I could even tell that something seemed like this actually seems like it makes a lot of sense that's crazy. Okay. And then for celebrity therapy, kind of 2 random stories, you guys. We're talking about Elon Musk and Grimes, a little information about what they call their baby. They can't even really agree on what his name really is. And then Kristin Cavallari and Jay Cutler, some news about that. Of course, we have Kar Jenner Tea Time coming up at the end of the show. We're talking about Khloe Kardashian and something that she wishes people would stop doing. Kim Kardashian made a generous offer to somebody who got injured during the protests, and Kendall Jenner spoke out. Finally, wrapping up with some Scott and Courtney news, of course. Now, before we jump into all of this news and before we pour that tea, Courtney, is there anything else that you would like to add? Any shows that you'd like to talk about? Any information you would like to spread?
I don't think so, Devyn. I have to think for a minute. I don't think so. I would just like to remind everyone to be sensitive. And also, actually, now that you say that, Devyn, I want to let everyone know that you should not be surprised if you're one of those people that when you hear Black Lives Matter, your knee-jerk reaction is to immediately respond with, no, all lives matter. Do not be surprised if you get dragged. Because all lives cannot matter until innocent Black men can stop being killed at the hands of police. So please understand that if I see you under any of my friends' posts or any celebrities' posts, I might come a knock-in. I just find that to be very inappropriate and disrespectful, one, to me, and two, to the people that are posting the content. So that also goes for after this video goes up and goes live. Don't be one of those people that are going to be like, no, all lives matter, and then the T-Tribe gets you in the comments. Just don't be surprised, because it's incorrect, and in this particular situation, it's wrong. So that's all I wanted to say, Devyn. That's all.
Right, and I think what people are not understanding about the Black Lives Matter movement is that it's not saying Black lives are more important than everybody else's lives. That's not what it is. It's right now that Black lives are being oppressed and mistreated, and we need to bring them up to be equal with everybody else. It's not a matter of one being more important than the other. It's about uplifting the Black community and making sure that they're not victims of senseless violence. Like that's yes. What it's all about. It's not a personal affront to you and your life. We have to stop looking at it like that. Like, just be smarter. It's annoying. It's frustrating. Like, it just sounds frustrating. Yeah, it's dumb. It's really dumb. Now let's get in to the morning tea. This rundown, we're starting off with Nicki Minaj, but of course we are pouring that tea first. So I have my mug today. I have a variety of these kinds of mugs with these silly phrases on it. I bought this one from my ex-boyfriend before we broke up.
David. Well, you know what, Devyn? That David doesn't have to be your ex. It could be David Dobrik, and he donated $50,000 to the cause. So shout out to that particular David. We're sipping in the name of David Dobrik today.
Yeah, I mean, look, no shade to the ex-boyfriend David, but we'll say this mug is David Dobrik mug.
Hey.
Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about Nicki Minaj. So she took to her Instagram to share her outrage about the death of George Floyd. She shared a chalkboard drawing of the last words of victims who died at the hands of police brutality. And in her caption, she said, quote, "When 4 Black thugs commit a crime, if one person commits murder, they all get charged and convicted. When white thugs/cops kill innocent Black people, all 4 of them are responsible. They all watched an unarmed man die and did nothing. Why do they have different rules? Let your voice be heard. Be angry. White people have been using violence against us since the beginning of time. We didn't invent violence and looting. Will these officers actually get convicted? Probably not. Let your voice be heard. Call and text to be part of these petitions. May Mr. Floyd rest in peace." So as far as I know, Courtney, you probably know better than I do, this was the first thing that she posted on Instagram about George Floyd's death and the Black Lives Matter movement right now. And it is powerful. I like that she's not only sending her condolences to George Floyd, but she's also encouraging the other officers to be convicted. That's something that I feel a lot of the celebrities are not doing. Right now, a lot of the celebrities are saying, like, let's uplift the Black community. Let's stand with the Black community. Let's, stand up against racism. But she's sitting there and saying, this is what needs to happen right now with this particular situation. And I think she's absolutely right, and I respect that. But I want to hear your thoughts, Courtney.
I'm glad that Nicki Minaj spoke out, but I think it's also very important to bring attention and light to the fact that this is not the first time Nicki Minaj has spoken out about the Black Lives Matter movement. Something that was a little confusing to me, Devyn, was online on Twitter amongst the stans, the boys and girls of the world, if you will. They were calling for Nicki to say something. Nicki, do something. Nicki, say something. Nicki, do something. Nicki, why didn't you run to Queen Radio and immediately start talking about this? And I want to potentially add a little clarity to people that were wondering, Devyn. It just appears to me, as a normal person, as a fan, every single time Nicki Minaj does anything, it's kind of an issue, whether it's something dealing with her own issues in her own life or whether she's speaking out on a social issue. So I'm kind of glad that Nicki Minaj waited, gave it a couple of days for people to go out, protest, get the message out there. I'm glad that the news was able to sort of make worldwide coverage before Nicki Minaj was able to sort of throw her opinion and statement into the ring. And well said, well done. Absolutely outstanding. Love her.
Yeah. Yeah, I respect that too. And I think that it's smart. You're right that she waited a few days to digest everything and see what's going on so she could formulate, the best message for her audience. And as soon as you insert yourself into a public forum like that, especially about a subject like this, you are opening yourself up for debate and criticism. And like you said, Nicki receives a lot of that. So I like that. I like that she waited, and I like that you brought that up just now and you mentioned that because it's absolutely true. Someone else also waited a few days to get involved and actually broke a social media hiatus to express support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Adele went on Instagram and posted a caption about George Floyd and about the changes that need to happen in society. She said, George Floyd's murder has sent shockwaves around the world, so be righteously angered, but be focused. Keep listening, keep asking, and keep learning. It's important we don't get disheartened, hijacked, or manipulated right now. This is about systematic racism. This is about police violence, and it's about inequality. I wholeheartedly stand in solidarity with the fight for freedom, liberation, and justice. So Adele took to her Instagram for the first time in a few months, I think it was. It's been a while, I'm pretty sure. And expressed her support, and she said it so well. And I think it's important to draw attention to the fact that these celebrities are saying something because they have such huge platforms and they have such wide fan bases and audiences. And if we get more people on board and people thinking critically about the situation, then that's how we can get change to happen. One of the ways we can get change to happen. Do you have anything you want to add?
I want to ask you, Devyn, what do you think brands should do? Because I'm noticing, girls like Fashion Nova, Doll Skill. There are some brands out there that clearly make their money off of the black dollar. I know that I can open up my email probably right now, Devyn, and pull up an email where Fashion Nova is talking about some "Hey sis" and using the 100 emoji and all that. And all of that comes from black culture, honestly. So I wonder when we're going to get something from the brands that's more than a white hand and a black hand. You get what I'm saying? Right. Although it is a powerful message, I feel like when you're a brand and you are clearly, obviously, speculation, not confirmation, not only stealing from black artists and designers, you're not really 100% supporting the cause. So what do you think brands should do, Devyn? What kind of message should they send out? Is it okay for brands to wait the sort of window like Nicki Minaj waited? Or do you think right away it should be, we love our customers? Reebok put out a statement that said, it was powerful. They were like, we wouldn't even be here without our black customers. What do you think that brands should say in regards to this?
On a foundational level, I think brands should stop being culture vultures, but of course that's not something that's going to happen overnight. I think that what they could do, and if it happens the day after, if it happened the day after George Floyd died, or if it happened 5 days after or 4 days after George Floyd, I think that an incredible way to show their support and stand in solidarity would be to say, 20% of every purchase between now and the end of the month or whatever is going towards Black Lives Matter, the Minnesota Freedom Fund, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. This is a great time to take some of the huge profits and the huge revenue streams that they're bringing in to actually support a good cause, rather than sitting there and, posting the black square on Instagram or posting the white hand and the black hand or whatever it is. I think that this is a time to actually stand up and take action by donating money. And I think that would be the best way to handle it. I agree.
You did that, Devyn. Yes. Let the brands know. Devyn said, open up your purses, Fashion Nova. Y'all heard that? I ain't saying
if the customers can do it, I know that a lot of us have donated, a lot of us have given our money over to help out, and I think if the customers can do it, the brands can absolutely do it too. So maybe they will, maybe they are. I haven't actually looked into it. I haven't even thought about shopping for clothing or anything in the last week since everything went down. So
let me tell you real quick before we move on now. Are you familiar with the brand Dolls Kill or whatever that brand is? Are y'all familiar with that? Devyn, let me tell you. They were unfollowing ambassadors that they had that were posting Black Lives Matter. Now, T-Tribe, you know that from here and there, I brought up the rapper Rico Nasty. Y'all know Miss Rico. She posted about it, that she was unfollowed by Dolls Kill for posting about Black Lives Matter. So I wonder how that brand is going to fare once this sort of quiets down a little bit. I wonder, will they still have the same audience? I want to tell the audience, if you notice a brand ain't speaking up, I don't think you should support that brand. That's just my opinion, though. I can't control y'all coin.
I don't support that brand. And I've never purchased anything from them, but before I realized kind of how terrible they are, I did look at their Halloween costumes and I wanted to buy one. And then I started like they rip off small artists' designs, give no credit, no money. They sell artists, on their graphic tees. They've had racist shirts that come out with like really discriminatory phrases on it. Not a cool place to shop. Not a cool place.
Wow.
Yeah.
They canceled that. Okay. Wow.
Okay, so I want to get into what Cole Sprouse did. So he actually posted something really, really awesome. So he went to the Santa Monica protest that happened on Sunday over here, and he shared his experience on Instagram. He wrote, "A group of peaceful protesters, myself included, were arrested yesterday in Santa Monica. So before the voracious horde of media sensationalism decides to somehow turn it into something about me, there is a clear need to speak about the circumstances. Black Lives Matter." He continued writing, "I was detained when standing in solidarity, as were many of the final protesters within Santa Monica. We were given the option to leave and were informed that if we did not retreat, we would be arrested. When many did turn to leave, we found another line of police officers blocking our route, at which point they started zip tying us. It needs to be stated that as a straight white man and a public figure, the institutional consequences of my detainment are nothing in comparison to others within the movement. This is absolutely not a narrative about me, and I hope the media doesn't make it such. This is and will be a time about standing ground near others as a situation escalates, providing educated support, demonstrating, and doing the right thing." Shout out to Cole Sprouse. That was really, really well written. I think it was great for him to take ownership of the narrative before the magazines, got the police report or whatever it is and made it a tabloid headline. And, people are going to talk about how Cole Sprouse was arrested, but his caption, I think, is very enlightening. Do you feel the same way?
Yes. And also I would like to say that I'm not surprised. Not that Cole Sprouse was arrested, but I'm not surprised that Cole Sprouse was out there doing what he felt was right. I had a friend, Devyn, at one point that went to school in New York City and would bump into Cole Sprouse off and on. And just based off of what he told me, like how he is as a person, this does not surprise me at all. Shout out to Cole Sprouse. He's really that girl. And he means it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if you've ever encountered a person that's sort of like fake woke, Devyn. Cole Sprouse is the real deal. So I just wanted to say shout out to him. Shout out to everyone that's able to get out and protest peacefully. You get what I'm saying? And I very much want to reiterate to donate to those bail funds, because there are people that are just sitting on the ground getting arrested, Devyn. A disaster.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. That the one that you called out yesterday was Minnesota Freedom Fund, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. All right. So write that down, T-Tribe, if you want to donate after the show. Let's get into a young star. Should we even call her that? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. She got dragged for her support of the Black Lives Matter movement. None other than Olivia Jade. So she tried to show her support for Black Lives Matter, but she was quickly shut down. She posted Instagram stories writing, as a person who was born into privilege based on my skin color and financial situation, I was not always aware that these issues were still so present. That makes me feel awful, but it makes me want to learn more and do more and be better for all my beautiful Black friends and any other person who faces discrimination. She added, I'm not racist and I never have been, but I need to speak up about this because just not being racist isn't enough. We need to support and stand up and speak and use our white privilege to stop this. So though she did make an attempt to show her support and inspire change, people were very quick to point out that her white privilege not only got her off easy with that whole Operation Varsity Blues thing, but her white privilege got her into that situation. Another person wrote to her saying, the college admissions scandal contributes to the sense of outrage felt by many who take to the streets and violently protest systemic entitlement, privilege, and discrimination, while sweet little Olivia Jade drops makeup tutorials like nothing happened. Dumb, clueless, and tone deaf. A lot of them were expressing that same sentiment, that she's tone deaf, she has no self-awareness. So here's what I think about this. I think that if Olivia Jade didn't say anything, she would have been dragged. And she said something, she got dragged. I think acknowledging her white privilege and then also going out and taking an actionable step to create change or whatever, inspire change by donating or protesting, like we've said, that is, I think it's fine for her to do. But don't you feel that no matter which way you slice it, she would have been on the receiving end of criticism?
I wish that she had a team. And not because I don't agree with what she said. I think that what she said was superb, if we're being honest, Devyn. But unfortunately, and this is me being honest, unfortunately, girl, you and your mama lied. And it's very much like you said, Devyn. She was damned if she did. She was damned if she didn't. In terms of an alternative, I feel like Olivia Jade, being that her mom, like the news about her mom and dad basically virtually getting off, in my opinion, had just recently come out. I wish that she would have just posted a Black Lives Matter photo on her grid, hashtag Black Lives Matter, and then let the comments do what they do and left it. You get what I'm saying? The whole reminding people of your white privilege was her own setup, and she didn't realize that she kind of set herself up to get dragged. And she didn't realize. I think she genuinely was trying to be a good person, and it backfired.
I think so too. I think she was trying to be self-aware, but then that self-awareness caused people to think how little she has self-awareness. That was a really bad way to say it. But, you know, she was trying to recognize my position in society. I recognize that I've been privileged, but then people were like, yeah, so shut up.
Yeah, they was like, girl, now go on over there. They said, all right, girl. Okay, we feel you. Go on over there. Get your likes, girl. Go ahead. That's how they was treating it. Like,
okay, you guys. So Gleeks, the time has come. We're getting into this Lea Michele news. If you are a Gleek, let us know in the chat. What's a good little like a music note emoji? Would that be a good music?
Do we have a red cup emoji?
Red cup.
If we have a red cup emoji, that is the Glee emoji. It has to be.
Okay, so here's the situation. Glee actor Samantha Ware accused her former co-star Lea Michele of making the show a, quote, living hell due to traumatic microaggressions. So last night, Samantha retweeted Lea Michele's Black Lives Matter post. Leah's post said, George Floyd did not deserve this. This was not an isolated incident, and it must end. Black Lives Matter. Well, now Samantha, so she retweeted that, and she responded back writing, LMAO, remember when you made my first television gig a living hell? Because I'll never forget. I believe you told everyone that if you had the opportunity, you would ish in my wig, amongst other traumatic microaggressions that made me question a career in Hollywood. Now, I would go so far as to say that this is not a microaggression. This is a aggression. That's disgusting and terrible that somebody would say that. It doesn't seem like a microaggression at all. Then other Glee cast members showed their support for Samantha, including Alex Newell, Amber Riley, and Dabier Snell, I think was his. I looked it up, and now I feel like I'm mispronouncing it. I think his name is Dabier Snell. They tweeted back at her. Dabier even wrote, quote, "Girl, you wouldn't let me sit at the table with the other cast members because I didn't belong there. F you, Lea." So there's a lot to unpack here. Courtney, take it away.
Devyn, I'll say this. I was surprised. I was not surprised at what was said. I was just surprised at the way that it happened and when it happened. I have so many questions. Why? I mean, we have to think back, Devyn. So, do you know of the actress Naya Rivera? She used to date Big Sean before Ariana. Yeah. So Naya Rivera was also on Glee, and she had sort of said, I can't remember if it was in a book or an interview that she had done, where she said her and Lea Michele, they was bumping heads. Lea Michele was not that girl. Lea Michele was very nasty. And what happened was, Devyn, Naya was dragged. They dragged her through the mud. Don't you talk about our queen, Lea Michele. Lea Michele is that girl. She is the next Idina Menzel. Leave Lea Michele. But then here we have this. It's not just one woman. It's Alex Newell, it's Amber, it's all the people that you just mentioned. Rachel Berry is sort of known for being that sort of squeaky clean but cutthroat kind of character. And I don't know about other Glee fans, but I've always felt like, man, she plays that part too well, Devyn. She plays that part too well. And also hearing this, it makes me wonder, the way that Lea Michele has treated Black people in the past, is that why Lea Michele failed to see mainstream success after Glee? She did the New Year's Day movie with Ashton Kutcher. Other than that, Devyn, we only see her palling around with Darren Criss, who I love. Ooh, that's my man. I love Darren Criss. But we don't see Lea Michele doing nothing relevant besides being Darren Criss's sidekick when it's time for a Christmas show or one of these little holiday shows. She lay on top of the piano or whatever and give us one of these hollering little songs that she does. So, I mean, that's what she gets. It's what she deserves. I hope Naya Rivera come out and say something else. Honestly, I turned her notifications on. I ain't even going front. I'm that messy, Devyn. As soon as it all went down, I went right to Naya Rivera's profile and turned them notifications on. Because you will not see me miss whatever she has to say regarding that. Now, if we have to wait until tomorrow, that's fine. Because today is Blackout Tuesday. But Naya Rivera, can you give us something? Let us know. Give us an update, quotes, something. Because, girl, Lea, imagine it. Devyn, I auditioned to be on this show called The Glee Project years and years and years ago, and it basically was a competition to be on the show Glee as a new character. Could you imagine I would have went on Glee and Lea Michele would have treated me some type of way? I might have got a real slushie and thrown it in her face and been kicked off the show. I would have been a national headline.
Yeah, and
what you're doing in the dog will come to light, Devyn, always.
If you did that, Courtney, I would be sitting there cheering you on from the sidelines. I don't have the talent to be part of the Glee Project, so I wouldn't be right there next to you, unfortunately, because I'd never get accepted. But I would have been there like, yes, Courtney. But you know what I find so interesting about this situation, and I may be incorrect. I tried to Google it just now, but I'm pretty sure that Lea Michele is Jewish. And so she's,
very proud of you, girl.
Yeah, she's been part of a, marginalized or oppressed group in the past. So I'm Jewish too. Why would you ever do something like this, treat people this way, knowing what your people have been through in the past? It just does not make any sense to me. It's terrible. Terrible.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I want to say, Devyn, I know that she's pregnant. I know that she's with child. I raise you this. Now, Lea, you come out and you apologize genuinely for the sake and future of your child. That's how I look at it, because you don't want nothing bad in terms of karma to, God forbid, happen to your child. Look at all the things you have done to multiple. It's not one Black person, Devyn. These are multiple Black people now. Actors, actresses, entertainers that have come forward and said, you have mistreated. You gave us the Regina George. You can't sit with us.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't a good look, Devyn.
Very high school, very gross. I'm not for it. Now, let's move on into celebrity therapy, you guys. A couple random stories that we're getting into today. There wasn't a lot of relationship news that happened, but I wanted to give you something anyway. So I'm sure you all saw that Elon Musk and Grimes named their baby a series of letters and numbers that no one is quite sure how to pronounce, not even the parents, actually. So Grimes did reveal a nickname that they call their newborn. It's Little X, which, I guess that's cute. I call my nephew Little Chicken, so, I guess nicknames can be whatever you want, but, and I think, I know it's random. I can't help it. I call my dogs chickens, too. I don't know why I do that. I can't explain it. Anyway, though, so the baby is named Little X, and after he was born, she tried to explain his name writing X, the unknown variable, AE, that AE symbol is my elven spelling of AI, love and or artificial intelligence. A12 is the precursor to SR-17, our favorite aircraft, no weapons, no defenses, just speed, great in battle, but non-violent. I don't know. I mean, you guys, it just goes on. It's just she tries to explain it. Still nobody understood what it was all about. And then she said that the name is pronounced XAI, just that's how it's pronounced. But then in an interview with Joe Rogan, Elon Musk said, first of all, my partner is the one who mostly came up with the name. She's great with names. So, I mean, it's just X, the letter X, and then the AE is pronounced Ash. A12 was my contribution. The precursor to the SR-71, which is the coolest plane ever. So I'm all for unusual names. My name, is Devyn, and it's spelled with a Y, so it's androgynous, and it has that Y thrown in there, so it's kind of different. And I do like it when people have unusual names, but the parents can't even agree on how it's pronounced. Is it XAI? Is it Ash? Is it? I don't really know. So something needs to change here, I think. But that's my thoughts.
Why did I just said AI the middle name, Devyn? Why they couldn't let that be the middle name and then name the baby Elon Jr. and call him Lil E?
I don't know.
You over here sounding like Android, like an android, like a robot. XAI.
That's how I feel. It's weird. It's very weird. They're an unusual couple. My head hurt. I know. It's so funny. Especially, I love that they don't even know what to call him. So now they just call him Little X. Okay. Okay. Let's get into our next celebrity therapy news. Kristin Cavallari and Jay Cutler. They are coping with their split. So Kristin and Jay's divorce has been messy, and now the 37-year-old retired NFL player is getting a change of scenery to cope with all of the craziness. He took to his Instagram to share some shots from a trip to Montana that he took. And I think Montana is probably a great place to go when you're getting over a heartbreak because there's lots of beautiful scenery. It's quiet. You can really sit there and think. You're not going to be super distracted. You could take some hikes, get some exercise, some fresh air. And he captioned it, "Well done, Montana. Until next time." I always feel that taking a trip is a great way to get over that heartbreak, to kind of get over the hump of that, that initial hump that you experience after a split. Courtney, I know you are in a long-term relationship, so maybe you haven't been through a breakup in a very long time, but I wanted to hear what you think is the best remedy for a split, just for the T-Tribe, if anyone's going through a breakup right now.
I would say, honestly, the best recommendation for a breakup, either romantic or interpersonal, as drastic as it sounds, is a clean split. I didn't used to be a fan of blocking. You'll never see me block an agitated stan. That's what the mute function is for, so that they don't know and they can keep talking to themselves. I feel like blocking is what you do when you're making a clean split. And it doesn't even always have to be beef, Devyn. You could break up with someone and it's an amicable split, but you just don't want to see them on your feed. You know how Instagram be doing, Facebook be doing. The last thing I want is to see anyone that I used to associate with or someone that I held close to my heart all over my socials after I've just been okay, this person was awful for my life and they've got to go. So that's my advice. Block. block, erase them, spend some time with yourself, and get back to finding your identity before you were with this person. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's really smart. So do what Courtney said. Also take a trip with your girlfriends, boyfriends, family, whatever, and have a nice time. I think those are the great things to do to get over a breakup. Just some relationship advice here on the morning tea, you guys.
We gonna give it to you, girl.
Yes. Okay. Now, the time has come for us to hear Courtney's pre-recorded voice for Card Jenner Tea Time.
Go ahead and hit it,
Jenner Tea Time!
Yay! Okay. Now let's take some tequila shots.
Oh, let me pour mine, girl. You know I don't come prepared, girl. I gotta give the presentation, girl. Gotta get it. I got my Batman, girl. Got my Batman, girl.
Ooh, cute.
How we get that? Cheers to the morning tea with C&D.
And to everybody who is going out there and supporting Black Lives Matter and doing what they can. Okay. Ooh. I'll never get used to that.
Yes, girl.
Ooh,
yeah, girl, you handle that like a champ. Come on, girl. Yes.
Thanks. Okay. Our first Card Jenner news story to get into today is about Khloe Kardashian. She wants everybody to stop analyzing her face. So she made headlines after she posted. I have lime in my mouth, like lime pulpy.
Oh, is it sour, girl? A little citrus, girl? A little pulp, girl? Yeah.
Exactly. So Khloe made headlines after she posted that crazy photo of her face, and now she's opening up about how all those comments make her feel. A source spoke to Hollywood Life and said, if you see Khloe in person, you see she doesn't look massively different all the time, so she thinks it's really ridiculous people pick her apart over her photos. Well, yeah, of course she's not going to look different all the time because she doesn't have like a real life Facetune to use.
Devyn, how about the fact that we wouldn't ever see like Khloe Kardashian in real life anyway? So why would they say that? Like, we're going to have the opportunity to go to the movie theater tomorrow and go and see Khloe Kardashian. Dumb. Sorry, but continue. We see her in person. Girl, we're not going to see her in person. She's famous and rich and we're not. So,
yeah,
okay.
We don't get that benefit. Okay, so the source went on saying, quote, she uses several different apps and filters and has fun with the photos she takes and posts, as do all of her sisters, so she doesn't even think about it when she posts. She takes a ton of photos and spends time picking and posting the best ones, just like any other woman. Khloe isn't one to just sit silent and let people talk about her or her loved ones, which is why she speaks up. She's sensitive, so it does bother her slightly, but she also knows it's not true. It's a picture and people need to relax. But then another source talked to Us Magazine and said that Khloe really doesn't care about the backlash at all that she's been getting from fans, saying that she doesn't look like herself in recent photos because she thinks she looks great. So we have two different sources here kind of saying two different things. One source says that Khloe finds the comments ridiculous because she looks the same, and the other source says that she doesn't care at all. I really have no specific question to ask you about this, Courtney. I just felt like we needed to share that Khloe wants everybody to stop analyzing her face, which I think is something that'll happen when she doesn't randomly post a photo that doesn't look like her at all.
You know what Khloe and the rest of the Card Jenners need to do, Devyn? They need to put out a YouTube video where they sit here and react to Hollyscoop's Card Jenner Tea Time. And also, we need to talk to the powers that tea about getting one of them, preferably Kendall, because she's not going to slap us, on the show to do Card Jenner Tea Time with us. T-Tribe, is that a smart idea or am I creating mess? I think we all know I'm creating mess. Like, how interesting and entertaining would that be? Card Jenner Tea Time and like, boop, Courtney pops up. Could you imagine what I would be like? Would I still say she has a stink face? Who knows? I might.
I feel like I do want to point out, Courtney, that creating mess and smart idea are not mutually exclusive. I think it can be both, and I think it is both. So I support the idea. I think it's good to create a little bit of mess, get some good sound bites, get good quotes. I'm for it. I like the drama.
Be like, Khloe, is this really your face? We just want to know. Can you tell the people? Can you show us how you alter your head shape? Can you show us how you get the Melissa Khadija look? Can you show us how you do that? What program did you use, girl? Did you morph two faces together and then face and smooth out the edges, girl? Show us the technique, girl. Could you imagine? We need to do that.
We need a lesson in Photoshop from Khloe. I think that would be very interesting. Okay, let's get into this Kim Kardashian news. So she saw a tweet, and I think we probably all have seen this tweet, or you've seen it on social media, about a girl who was peacefully protesting, and she was shot point blank in the forehead with a rubber bullet. According to this tweet, this girl is permanently disfigured. A huge chunk of her forehead came out after the bullet hit her. I would show the image, but it's very graphic, so I felt like it was best if I didn't.
Yeah.
But Kim actually ended up reaching out to the person who shared the tweet, which was not the girl who was injured, and said, "This is heartbreaking and so disturbing. Does anyone know how I can get in contact with her? I would love to help her with her medical care if she needs it." I don't know if the two were ever connected, but I think it's good to know that Kim was willing to help and that she, tried to get in touch with her. Maybe she did pay for the medical care and we just haven't heard about it yet. But I think that's great. I think that, say what you want about the Jenners and Kim. I think Kim especially tries to do a lot or she does more than the others to create change and speak up for those who don't have as loud a voice as she does. Just by helping those people who have been incarcerated for things they didn't do, crimes they didn't commit. She's gotten people out. Now she wants to pay for the medical care. So I applaud her for that. What do you think about that?
I'm glad that Kim did this. I kind of feel like all of the Jenners sort of have their strengths. And I feel like when it comes to saving someone, Kim is really the best at that, to be honest. Like, Kim is really good at that. I feel like Khloe appears, although her decisions we may not always agree with, it appears as though Khloe's strength is being a mom, Courtney's strength is not touching plastic, Kris's strength is running an empire, Kylie's strength is trying not to be famous and being mature. Like, they all have their strengths, and I feel like Kim being a lawyer is definitely one of them, or trying to be one is definitely one of them. Shout out to her. This was good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a good move. It's great to see someone from the Jenner clan really trying to get out there and get involved in a way like that and to offer to pay for medical care. We know that she can afford it, so that was a good move. So Kendall also spoke out for the first time about the Black Lives Matter movement and about what happened with George Floyd. And she posted a lengthy caption on her Instagram, and she encouraged her audience to keep researching and reading to educate ourselves into becoming better allies. She used her Instagram post to acknowledge that she will never personally understand the fear and pain that the Black community goes through on a daily basis, but she also knows that posting on social media isn't going to change anything, and we need to take real action and elect the right people into office. One thing that Kendall did do that I want to draw attention to, because we were saying that Khloe and Kim should have done this yesterday on the morning tea, she included a swipe up on her Instagram story that led people to different petitions and different organizations that they could donate to. And with the number of followers that she has, I'm sure that the conversion rate of people who actually donated was huge. I'm sure it made a big impact. So I'm glad that she did that she actually provided that actionable step where before yesterday, Khloe and Kim hadn't really done that yet. They just spoke out. So shout out to Kendall for doing that. I'd love to know the how many people donated because of that, but obviously I don't think we'll get that information. I think it's great that she did that.
It's about, for me, Devyn, it's about completing the full action. I'm seeing like a lot of people, excuse my language, half-ass the support. So like we have Kendall's statement, and thankfully you said, Devyn, that there was a swipe up included, because my initial comment was going to be, where was the hashtag Black Lives Matter at the end? You get what I'm saying? To be honest, I'm kind of tired of seeing the long support messages, the Martin Luther King quotes, And none of those things include the hashtag Black Lives Matter. And the reason why it bothers me, Devyn, because it comes off to me, it appears as though sometimes people are afraid to post the Black Lives Matter, and I don't really know why. So I think that it would be helpful if in your support messages, in your graphics, in your swipe ups, that you do include the hashtag Black Lives Matter, or else people might perceive you to be one of the all lives matter people, and that at this current time is just a little counterproductive. So that's how I feel. Shout out to Kendall though, because she completed the full action. It was message, it was swipe up, it was a resource. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it is good. So yeah, shout out to Kendall. And now let's switch gears completely. It wouldn't be a morning tea if we didn't talk about Scott Disick, Kourtney Kardashian, and Sophia Richie. So we got to get into this mess, you guys. Yesterday, we told you how, despite all of my deepest hopes and wishes, Scott and Kourtney recognized that nothing is going to happen romantically between the two of them. They are just co-parenting, and they get along really well. They love each other, but not in that way that I wish they did, because I've always envisioned them getting back together, as you guys know by now, but it's not going to happen. But now an insider spoke to Us Magazine and revealed even more about what their co-parenting relationship is really like. They said, quote, Scott is so happy that he and Kourtney get along so well and how easy it is to be with her. It's weird to everybody else, but not to them. They really are like best friends. So I actually think that's kind of refreshing to hear that the relationship that they have is more like that of best friends as opposed to exes or even co-parents, because I think that's probably better for the kids. That means they can still have fun together. They can still have, conversations and stay in touch without there being any tension or drama. But the source also said that there is still a little bit of attraction there. They said Kourtney is not open to him in a romantic sense, but Scott is always flirting with her and thinks that she looks better than ever. The family also loves him, and he's like another son to Kris. So it really sounds like they're not going to get back together. And as we told you yesterday, Scott is fully focused on getting back together with Sophia after he feels better mentally, of course, but there's still something about his relationship with Kourtney that makes him want to flirt with her and kind of have that little thing going on. So I'm not really sure what that means. Do you have any takes, Kourtney, on what that could possibly mean, why Scott is wanting to do that?
I want to ask the T-Tribe something, because I know that y'all watch y'all watch as much as we're here. Sometimes times two, y'all might run that back on the replay. But y'all, don't this sound like Khloe and Tristan in terms of the content of the news? It sounds, like I said yesterday, very much will they, won't they, one day, yes, Scott is flirting with Kourtney tomorrow. Scott is repulsed by Kourtney the next day. Kourtney looks lovingly into Scott's eyes. Next day, they're back together. Sophia's crying. Monday, Sophia's won her man back. She's not over Scott. Like, y'all realize that Kris and the girls keep putting out these stories, these conflicting stories, just to keep us guessing, just so that their name will constantly remain in the news. And I mean, at this point, I guess it just is what it is. I don't want them to get back together. I think it would be awful for the kids. I think that Scott needs to get Sophia back and run away with me, like Carly Rae Jepsen, and never to be seen ever again. And Kourtney, I feel like this situation, honestly, Devyn, won't improve and it won't go to the next level until Kourtney finds somebody that's not Scott, because she's lonely and she won't leave him alone. She's lonely and bored, and her company sucks. So, of course, she's going to keep bothering Scott and being there for Scott when he has a woman to do that, or had a woman to do that. So she needs her own love so he can go on with his life, I think.
Okay, but what about this? The source specifically says that Scott is flirting with Kourtney. So I get that Kourtney might be lonely and she may be enjoying having Scott's company around, and she's reluctant to see him with another person because it means that it kind of takes away from her relationship with him. I get all of that, but the source says Scott is flirting with Kourtney. And they also said that Kourtney is not interested. That Kourtney is not open to him in a romantic sense. So what do you take away from that then?
I take away that it's a lie. I take away from it that Scott is trying to get himself back together, and he clearly was like, he fell off the wagon. So Scott's not talking to sources. So if Scott was trying to get himself better in rehab and trying to better himself, would Scott be talking to sources about his relationship with Kourtney? No. Kris and Kourtney and everyone else from the Kar Jenner camp would be telling this kind of story to make it seem like Kourtney is still so desirable. And she's not, Devyn. There's not a lot that's likable about Kourtney Kardashian. You get what I'm saying? So of course this report is going to come out. How do you keep Kourtney Kardashian remaining likable? You keep Scott here in LA. You ruin his little rehab experience. You keep him in LA so that the story of Scott still wanting Kourtney can continue. And look, some of y'all keep buying into it every day. I don't believe none of it. Every time it's like someone is chasing the Kardashians, a source said, and then it's like no other comment from the other side. It just seems to me like Chrissy made a call. And Chrissy makes lots of calls. We know that.
She does make lots of calls. She is the master manipulator, the master momager. So, you know what, Kourtney, you are on something, and I know you've been saying that all along, and I still find myself getting sucked into the storyline and the narrative of Scott and Kourtney and blah, blah, blah. I'm guilty of it, and I probably will still be guilty of it until we see Kourtney with a new man actually thriving and living her best life, and Sophia doing her thing in New York, walking down those runways, being the supermodel that she wants to be, and then Scott just like getting the rehab attention that he needs, or whatever it is that he needs right now, getting what it is, and just like fully focusing on himself. So until all of that happens, I feel like I'm still going to be sitting there like, Kourtney and Scott, what? Like, I'm just going to be completely buying into everything because that's the type of person I am. I also want to call out really quickly, Night Runner gave us $5. She said, this lady, the last week of homeschooling the kids. Congratulations. Must be exciting to no longer have to homeschool. I imagine that's a tough job. So shout out to you for managing all of that. That's incredible. Must not have been easy at all. Sarah Willie in the chat says, poor Devyn. Are you saying that because I buy the storyline? It's like, wow.
Poor Devyn. She's in it for the entertainment, girl. Because they are entertaining, Devyn. It's just, I don't believe none of it.
Well, you guys know, and I'm sticking by this story, Kylie and Travis literally never broke up. So that's the thing that I'll never buy. And I don't care how many people tell me I'm wrong or whatever. They never broke up. They've always been together. They're still together. It's just a headline-grabbing story for us to talk about. Mason told us
that they weren't, right?
What'd you say?
Wasn't it Mason that told us that they weren't together, Kylie and Travis? I thought that's what happened. I could be wrong. But I just thought that's what happened.
You just what?
I thought that's what happened. I thought Mason went on Instagram Live and told everyone that Kylie and Travis weren't together. And that's how we officially found out. Officially was because Mason and his messy child ways went live and told us, girl, he done spilled the beans. We was calling him Messy Mason the whole week, girl. Yeah, it was Mason. Kelly, y'all remember? Yes. Mason did say they're not together. Okay, I thought I low-key was imagining that, and I was like, oh my God, I hope I'm not fake newsing the girls. But that definitely happened. Mason, the child, went live and was like, oh girl, they're not together, girl. What you talking about? And we all was like, Mason, the messy. So we stand Mason here at Hollyscoop now because he's going to give us the real. We need Mason in between us, girl. He can do Kar Jenner tea time. We comment, girl. That's what we need, girl.
If we can't get Mason on the tea time, on the Kar Jenner tea time, I think that he should do a Messy Mason Monday live show every single week. I think we could really benefit from that. However, I love that Mason came out and said that Kylie and Travis are not together. I still am not buying it. I think that whatever's going on, maybe they haven't even told the family. Those two are still together. I am telling you right now. I'm going on record. I don't even care. Mason, you don't know what you're talking about. I do too.
You're a liar.
You're 11 years old and you're a liar. That's how old he is. Very weird. Okay, you guys, that is our show for today. We will be back at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. Double check that you've subscribed and tap the bell so you always know when we upload a new video and when we're going live. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and leave a comment below. You guys, it's Blackout Tuesday, so make sure you show your support on social media, but do not tag Black Lives Matter. You can tag Blackout Tuesday, you can tag Pause the Show, but don't tag Black Lives Matter. Just remember that. Courtney, any final words that you want to say before we close off the show? Tomorrow's Wesley Wednesday. That's something I do want to add.
Yes.
So
be sure to do all the things that Devyn has mentioned previously. Following, liking, commenting. You can follow us on social media at Devyn Howard, me at Courtney Revolution. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for the Green Chair Chats every Sunday at noon Pacific Standard Time. And we will see you tomorrow for What Wesley Say Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, guys. Now, wash your hands. You better wash your hands. It's intermittent. You better wash your hands. Wash your hands. It's intermittent. You better wash your hands. Scrub your hands. Scrub your hands. It's intermittent. You better scrub your hands. Scrub your hands. It's intermittent.